All right. Do you have any questions so far?
How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about you?
Pretty well, thanks.
Nice. So, before we look at the site, I'd like to ask you a few quick questions about yourself.
Sure.
First, what's your occupation?
I'm a student at the University of Vermont.
Oh, that's great. Me too. Uh,
What a coincidence.
what would you say from a day-to-day basis is your normal routine? Just roughly.
Well, I have an internship a couple days a week, so Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I get up, go to the internship, come back, do some
Nice.
studying, get an early night's sleep,
Hmm.
wake up, go to school,
Nice. That
do some
sounds pretty
homework,
good.
browse the internet, watch some Netflix.
Oh,
Black Mirror's been
perfect.
pretty good, just got into that.
That's a great show. Oh, I should start watching that again, actually. Now, roughly how many hours a week altogether, just a ballpark estimate, would you say you spend using the internet, including web browsing and email, at work and at home?
Oh, at work and at home? Like
Hmm.
separate numbers or just one combined number?
One combined number, and you can specify.
All right, so at work is probably like 14 hours a week. Um,
And what are you doing at work normally?
well, I'm a website developer and I manage like the intranet for the hospital.
Okay,
So
nice.
it's pretty much all of my time is online there.
Right, that makes sense.
Besides like meetings or
Yeah.
like lunch break or anything.
And then personal time?
Personal time is probably like, I mean, it's probably embarrassingly high,
That's all right. There's
especially
no
if
there's no judgment here.
especially if you include mobile. Probably like I mean, I don't know. Get on and off, it's probably like 15 hours or so.
Okay, that sounds about right. And what would you say the split is between email and browsing? Just a rough percentage.
It's probably, I mean, between reading and responding to emails, it's probably like a fifth of the time is email.
Okay.
Although I check it pretty frequently, but that's only a couple seconds.
Right, of course. So, what kinds of sites are you looking at when you browse the web?
Well, I mean, this time of year we're moving. Like, a lot of people are moving around, so I've been looking at a lot of like forums, like buy and sell, and like
Nice.
um, I don't know, like living situation type things. So
Yep.
I guess I mean that could be included under Facebook or Craigslist.
Okay.
But then other than that, I mean like YouTube, Netflix for like video
The
streaming.
the standards. I
Yeah, and
understand.
as well as some homework educational sites
Cool.
like WebAssign, Blackboard,
Oh, of
Chegg.
course. Love Blackboard. Do you have any favorite websites?
Probably the typical like YouTube, Facebook,
Yeah.
Netflix,
Okay.
Chegg.
Perfect. So, okay, great. We're done with the questions and we can start looking at things. First, I'm going to ask you to look at this page and tell me what you make of it.
Oh wow, how'd that get there so fast?
What strikes you about it? Whose site you think it is? What you can do here? And what it's for? Just look around and do a little narrative. You can scroll if you want to, but don't click on anything yet.
All right. Well, I see this header here. It says Order of Omega, University of Vermont. So I guess I'll find out what Order of Omega is. Looks like it recognizes fraternity men and women who have attained a high standard of leadership in interfraternity activities. So I guess this is like a Greek leadership site. And they're
Okay.
accepting applications due last September. Um, it's kind of odd. I guess it seems a little outdated.
Anything else?
Um, well, it seems pretty important. Like I mean, it seems like a big deal because I mean, there is like an application process. They've got a decent amount of likes on Facebook. I recognize Ivan. He's actually my roommate.
Oh, that's
Oh, and
interesting.
there are you guys. Cool.
Hmm.
I'm glad you guys are getting some credit for this. Um, but yeah, I mean, besides like clicking on things, I can see that they're very outgoing about recognizing their members, and they have an executive board with the officers tab there.
Cool.
I like how these highlight here. It makes me, I don't know, it makes me really aware of where the cursor is and what I'm going to do next. Oh yeah, it's a cool effect there. Guess there's like a whole application.
Nice.
Maybe later I'll share it to my Facebook page.
Oh, I recommend that you do. Thanks. Now I'm going to ask you to try and do some specific tasks. I'm going to read each one out loud and give you a printed copy. I'm also going to ask you to do these tasks without using search. We'll learn a lot more about how well this site works that way. And again, as much as possible, it will help us if you can try and think out loud as you go along.
Sure, of course.
So, first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to try and send an email to the UVM Order of Omega.
All right, so I'm going to look at the top here, and I'm looking across, and I see, well, first I see officers and members, but then I notice contact with the little mail icon. So I'm going to try that. So scroll down, contact, oh, general information, Order of Omega VT at gmail.com.
Sure, would you mind clicking on that?
Sure. Did you say the director or
I said send an email to UVM Order of Omega.
okay, so I'm gonna assume that this is UVM Order of Omega because it has VT in the address. So I'll click on that. And oh, there we go.
Nice. You don't have to actually send an email.
Hey, it's Ben. Guess we'll
Sure, just close out.
yeah,
Again.
I'll just close out of that one.
All right. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do is try and find the 6 values of Order of Omega.
All right. So I guess we'll go to FAQs here. See if there's anything for values. Don't see anything for values. It just says International Honor Society. Oh, top 3%. It's very prestigious. Maybe history. You said there are 6 values?
Yeah, there's 6 values that I want you to find.
I wonder if it started in Miami. Guess we'll. Oh, yep, there it is. I don't see any values here. I'm just looking for a list, maybe with bullets or something to distinguish. Maybe I don't know. I'll check the home page. Oh, I guess would it be these in bold here, like these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? So is it to recognize, encourage, inspire, unite, bring together, and create? Are those the values?
Those are the values. Nice.
All right. So I guess those are a little hard to find just because they're I don't know. They're obviously emboldened here, but if I didn't know, if you weren't there to confirm it, I wouldn't be able to tell you for certain if those were the values or not.
Right, of course. Now I'm going to ask you to see if you can find the vice president of the club.
All right, vice president. So I'm going to go over to officers because that sounds like an executive position, maybe on the cabinet here. So here are the current officers. Oh, it's a cool effect. Oh yeah, right there, Miranda Baker, vice president. She's also a member of the Alpha Chi Omega sorority.
Oh, great job.
Looks like there are 4 members.
Yeah, 4 officers.
4 officers.
So, the next thing I'm going to have you try and do is to figure out how many members of Greek life and from which organization there are. Let me rephrase that. So, who are the members of Order of Omega, and how many from each sorority or fraternity are there?
All right, so because you just said members, I'm going to click where it says members. Pretty sure that's the right move. So, all right, so how many members there are in here in total?
No, not in total. So, with each organization, fraternity or sorority, how many belong to each one that are in Order of Omega?
Okay. So I'm scrolling over. That's all Alpha Chi Omega, Alpha Chi Omega, Alpha Chi Omega. So that's the 6 Alpha Chi. Oh. All right, so we have 6 Alpha Chi's up here. Then we have Alpha Delta, Alpha Delta. So 6 Alpha Chi, 2 Alpha Delta, Tri Delta, 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 Delta. I think that's the nickname I've heard at least. Delta, 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 Delta. So that's 4 Delta, Delta, ooh, 5. All right, so we have 6 Alpha Chi's, 2 Alpha Deltas, 4, 5 delta delta deltas, kappa alpha theta. So there's 1 alpha theta, kappa delta, kappa delta, kappa delta, kappa delta. That's 5. So there's 5 kappa deltas, 1 alpha theta, 5 tri-deltas, and 5 alpha chi omegas. And then it looks like these, oh, all right, so there's 1 phi gamma delta.
I think that's all we need.
Yeah, it would take a little bit to get an accurate count for all of them, just because I have to hover over each one. And I haven't been writing down a tally, so
Right.
I don't want to confuse the numbers and give you an incorrect answer.
Sure. Well, thanks for going through that for me. The last thing I'm going to ask you to
It's a
do
lovely photo.
is try and find the December Scholar of the Month.
Sure. Oh, there's Kelton.
Oh, you know Kelton?
Yeah, I recognize his name at the bottom here.
Yeah.
Are you a member of this organization, the Order of Omega?
I personally am not, no.
Oh. Well, you made it on the website.
Yeah, I'm down there at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. With Kelton.
Yeah.
It's December Scholar of the Month. So I'm gonna go up here, click Scholar of the Month. You said December, so there's March, February, January, December. So that would be Andrew Dazzo from Phi Gamma Delta.
That's him. All right, great job. That was very helpful. So, do you have any questions for me now that we're done?
How did other people do on this test compared to how I did?
Well, it's a completely subjective test. There's no doing well or doing badly on it.
Okay, how will my performance help you enhance the website?
Well, we're going to analyze what you just did for us here and see if you ran into any problems that we can alleviate through some fixing up of the site.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was very informative then.
We appreciate it very much. We love that you're able to do this.
Great.